Ayan, good morning everyone. I guess most of you guys are already here. Para sa ating group for today, if you guys are ready, you can set up your presentation and you can start with a discussion.
Hello po. Am I audible po ba?
Yes, Bunso, you're audible.
Okay po. So, good morning po. Today po we will discuss the topic Soji Bill. Yan. Okay, Soji Bill. As stated po, the Soji Equality Bill or Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity Expression Equality Bill is a proposed law in the Philippines aimed at prohibiting discrimination on the basis of sexual orientation, gender identity, or expression. It is often called as anti-discrimination bill. So, ang SOGI Bill po ay naglalayong wakasan ang diskriminasyon base sa biological sex, sexual orientation at gender identity or expression. Ang tanging layunin lamang po nito ay ang makatarungang pagtrato sa mga kapwa-tao na maaaring naiiba pero may karapatan pa rin bilang isang tao, katulad ng pag-aaral, pagtatrabaho at pampublikong serbisyo. Example po nito ay halimbawa may pangyayari na hindi ka matatanggap sa trabaho dahil mas prefer ng company ang lalaki, pero nag-apply ka pa rin bilang isa kang babae, pinanganak kang babae. So, di man porket na babae ka ay hindi mo na kayang gawin ang mga kakayahan ng lalaki. So, ang purpose po nito ay protektahan ka sa mga ganong sitwasyon na hindi patas ang pagtrato. Sa madaling salita, hindi katwiran ang kakaibang sexual orientation or gender identity para itaboy, ano man ang iyong kasarian. So for the next po, how did it started? Nagsimula po ito year 2000, first filed under the 11th Congress of the Philippines by Senator Miriam Defensor Santiago. Ito po ang ating first fight for equality and anti-discrimination for the LGBTQ community. And for our next slides po, it will be discussed by Miss Chelsea Bautista. Thank you.
Ayan, so to further understand kung sino yung pinoprotektahan ng bill na 'to, I will discuss the terms sexual orientation and gender identity. So these terms are often used interchangeably, which should not be how it is kasi there is a big difference between these terms. So first, let's tackle sexual orientation. Sexual orientation is about who you are attracted to and who you feel drawn to romantically, emotionally, and sexually. On the other hand, gender identity isn't about who you're attracted to, but rather who you are. So there are common types of sexual orientations. Next slide, please. Next pa po. Thank you. Ayan. So first, let's start with bisexual. Bisexuality means that a person feels attraction to more than one gender, It can be either toward their own gender and other than genders. Most of the time, ito po ay nire-refer sa mga individual na attracted to both female and male. Ayan. Gay and lesbian naman has one thing in common, and that is being attracted to your same sex. Gay is identifies as male who typically only feel sexual attraction toward people of the same gender, while lesbian are women who feel sexual and romantic attraction toward other women. Pansexual and omnisexual naman po refer to people who feel attraction toward people of all genders and sexes. A typical identifier for people with the orientation is that gender is not a factor in sexual or romantic attraction. Sila ay attracted to all genders whether someone is a female, male, transgender, or intersex. So, baka nagtataka kayo kung ano yung pinagkaiba ng bisexual and pansexual. Pansexual likes all gender equally, while bisexual likes more than one gender but with preference. Yan, common gender identities naman. Next slide please. Ayan, so gender fluid. A person who identifies as gender fluid has a gender identity and presentation that shifts between or shifts outside of society's expectation of gender. Sila yung hindi sumusunod sa mga tradisyonal na pamantayan ng kasarian, ng lipunan. So, for example, is yung first daughter ni Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt. If some of you don't know, her name is Sheila Joy Pitt. She is a biological woman at birth, but there are times, especially when she was younger, where she used to dress up in a more masculine style. Sabi ng mom niya is baka it's her way to figure out her identity, kaya she let her daughter be na lang. But in the current time, Sheila's style became more feminine. So, ayan, she is the perfect example of what a gender fluid person is. Next is a non-binary. A person who identifies as non-binary does not experience gender within gender binary. Ibig sabihin po nun is hindi nila ina-identify ang sarili nila as either male or female. It's completely the opposite of the gender fluid. For transgender naman po, this is an umbrella term that encompasses all people who experience and identify with a different gender than that which their assigned sex at birth would suggest. So example po nito is si Jake Cyrus, who was initially known as Charisse, a famous singer with an undeniable potential. Pero Charisse later then realized na that's not who he really is. Kaya naging controversial din ito kasi parang ang tingin ng netizens sa kanya is like binabato sa na lang na yung career niya, parang binabaliwala niya lang yung career niya, which was an unpleasant perception of someone kasi that's who he really is. Yun yung ano niya, that's how he want to perceive himself. So, ayun, Jake Cyrus is considered as a transgender po. So, the next would be arguments regarding this Soji bill, which will be tackled by Jay Sawali.
Next is the arguments of Soggy Bill, its pros and cons. For our pros, we have the expanded job opportunities. There's wide selection of job opportunities as the LGBT group would not be limited to a certain role just because of their sexual preferences. This is where the Soggy Bill promotes inclusivity in the workplace, allowing for the individuals from the LGBTQ community to pursue their careers without being confined to specific roles based on their sexual orientation. This fosters a diverse workforce that benefits everyone. Next is equality for all. Equality is not only for LGBT, but for everyone in the country. By advocating for rights based on sexual orientation and gender identity, the bill seeks not only just to protect LGBT individuals, but to promote equality for everyone in society. It also emphasizes that all people deserves respect and fair treatment. Next is the fairness and non-discrimination. It is the ability to provide fairness and equality that for discriminating a person based on their sexual preference. The bill aims to establish clear guidelines against discrimination based on sexual preferences. This legal framework can help create a more equitable society where everyone can thrive without fear of bias. And lastly, the deterrent against discrimination. Ini-implement po nito yung penalties for discriminatory actions that can serve as a strong deterrent. Knowing that there are consequences for such behavior encourages a culture of respect and acceptance, reducing the incidence of discrimination. Next slide po. Next, we are going to tackle the cons of Soggy Bill. Firstly, we have the perceived over-entitlement. Over-entitlement for LGBT community and the Soggy Bill would disrespect our women in general. The critics argue that the Soggy Bill may lead to a sense of entitlement within the LGBT community, potentially overshadowing the rights of women and other marginalized groups. This perception could create tension rather than unity. Next is the potential for misuse. A lot of the LGBT community can use the law as an excuse or threat to other people that would not agree on their terms. There is concern that some individuals may exploit the protections offered by the law, using it as a weapon against those who disagree with them. This could lead to a culture of fear and hinder open dialogue. Next is the impact on religious beliefs. The bill disrespect the church law. Imagine a transgender would want to be a nun or a priest. The bill may conflict with certain religious doctrines, leading to tensions between the law and the beliefs held by various faith communities. For instance, the desire for some transgender individuals is to serve in religious roles could challenge traditional views. Next slide. Next is the moral and ethical boundaries. A transgender could go beyond bounds of a moral principle or standard behavior. Opponents argue that the Soggy Bill could push the boundaries of accepted moral standards, leading to societal discomfort. The concern is that it may normalize behaviors that some consider outside traditional ethics. And next, we have the concern over academic and religious freedom. The Saga Bill would undermine the academic and religious freedom and also the women's right. Critics express fears that the Saga Bill might infringe on academic and religious freedoms, limiting the discussion and teachings about gender and sexuality. This could stifle meaningful conversation in educational and spiritual settings. And lastly, the potential for division, pitting different groups against each other. The bill could inadvertently create divisions within society, pitting different groups against each other. Instead of fostering understanding, it might lead to increased polarization over issues of identity and rights. Next slide po. And I provided a video advertisement by Lazada that may help you illustrate and understand more the challenges faced by many gay individuals. Next is the Soggy Bill in today's time. As of 2024, the Soggy Bill Equality or the Soggy Equality Bill in the Philippines, which aims to protect individuals from discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression, is still a key topic of discussion. Although it has been proposed multiple times since 2000, it has not yet been passed into law. While the bill made some progress in the House of Representatives in previous sessions, it has consistently faced challenges in the Senate due to political opposition and differing opinions. Despite the lack of national legislation, some local governments have taken action by creating their own anti-discrimination ordinances. Cities like Manila and Cebu have implemented measures to protect LGBTQ individuals in various areas such as employment and education. Activists continue to advocate for the SOGI Equality Bill, organizing campaigns to build community support and raise awareness about the importance of equality. However, the bill encounters significant resistance from conservative groups, particularly those with strong religious beliefs. These critics often misinterpret the bill's intentions, claiming it could lead to same-sex marriage or other controversial issues which has fueled public opposition. International support for Filipino LGBTQ activists is seen as essential for their efforts to push for the bill's passage. Many believe that with continued advocacy and support, there is hope for the SOGI Equality Bill to finally be enacted, providing vital protections for LGBTQ individuals across the country.
In conclusion, ang SOGI Bill o Sexual Orientation and Gender Identity Expression Equality Bill ay isang panukalang batas na naglalayong protektahan ang karapatan ng bawat isa laban sa diskriminasyon based on their sexual orientation and gender identity. Its purpose is to promote equality and inclusivity para magkaroon ng pantay-pantay na pagtrato sa lahat regardless of their gender or expression. On the positive side, the SOGI bill provides protection against discrimination and helps build a society na mas inclusive at puno ng respeto. Pero may mga cons din tulad ng concerns na baka ito'y sumalungat sa religious beliefs or workplace policies. In today's time, napaka-relevant ng SOGI bill dahil sa patuloy na discrimination at lack of representation ng LGBTQIA+ community. Passing this bill would be a step toward a fairer society, but it also requires open discussions to ensure na ito ay may papatupad ng balanse. Ang pinakamahalaga ay respeto, pag-unawa at pagtanggap sa pagkakaiba-iba ng bawat isa.
Wait lang po, medyo mabagal po ang aming internet.
Go lang po sa take your time.
You have no idea how lucky you are. You have
This is another video I saw on TikTok that I would love to share. It conveys important messages that all gay individuals should hear and remember throughout their journeys and challenges in life.
Have no idea how lucky you are to look the way you look now and to be the way you are. And you are perfect just the way you are. Don't worry what other people think. Let it go. Just absolutely let it go and let whatever it's going to be unfold. Stop comparing yourself to others. Don't wish your life away. Be unique, be memorable, be confident, be proud, but mainly be you. Life is not happening to you when you see things around you that you're not pleased with, but it can happen for you when you speak your mind. Be grateful for the hard times in your life because they make you appreciate the good. You have no idea.
So that's all for. Thank you for listening, and I hope you learned something from our report.
Ayan, so thank you sa ating group for Sojibil. Siguro later guys, if meron kayong questions, you can raise them after the presentations that we'll be doing for this meet. But for the meantime, if ready na yung ating next group, sige lang guys, you can set up your presentation.
So, good morning guys. Today, we are going to discuss what is sexual attraction at kung ano ba yung mga factors na nakakaapekto dito. Next slide. So, una is what is sexual attraction? Next slide. Sexual attraction is what drives who we desire sexually. It's a very personal experience, sometimes influenced by someone's smells, our age, or whether alcohol is involved. Sexual attraction is determined by combination of biological, psychological, and social factors. And some people don't feel sexually attracted to others at all. sa sa madaling salita, ang sexual attraction, ito yung paghanga or pagkagusto natin sa isang tao sa isang paraan na nagpapakita na tayo ng interes o damdaming pang-romantiko or sexual. Para itong kakaibang pakiramdam kapag may isang taong naaakit ka, hindi lamang sa pisikal niyang anyo, kundi sa paraan din ng kanyang pagkilos, ng kanyang ugali, o ng kanyang boses. Hindi lang ito patungkol sa kanyang itsura, kundi kung paano mo siya nakikita sa mas malalim na antas. Minsan, sabi nga ng iba, parang may spark sa pagitan nyo na nagdudulot ng matinding kagustuhan na mapalapit ka sa kanya or makasama siya. In short, ang sexual attraction ay natural lang naman na reaksyon ng ating katawan at isip sa isang taong naaakit tayo dahil sa mga bagay na espesyal at nakakahalili na nakikita natin sa kanya. Okay, next slide. So The biology of attraction. So first is pheromones. Scent can be a powerful, so though open subconscious influence on sexual attraction. Every person's body naturally produce pheromones, chemical signals released through sweat, saliva, or urine that can convey information about things like sexual arousal, fertility, or compatibility. So, yung pheromones daw, ito yung lihim na mensahe na di natin namamalayan na nailalabas na pala ng katawan natin na nakakaapekto ito sa sexual attraction. At kung paano tayo nakikipag-bond sa iba, halimbawa, may naamoy ka na isang tao and feeling mo ang gaan and compatible kayo sa isa't isa. Next is hormones. Hormones like testosterone and oxytocin significantly affect sexual attraction. Testosterone influence libido and lower levels can lead to reduced sexual desire. Oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone, is involved in feelings of connection and trust. It's released during physical touch, intimacy, or emotional bonding, helping us form deeper, more meaningful connections. Ang testosterone ay isang hormone na pangunahing matatagpuan sa ating mga kalalakihan. Ngunit mayroon din ito sa mga kababaihan. Mahalaga ito sa pagpapalakas ng ating katangiang sexual, tulad na lamang ng kapag tayo ay nagbibinata ay mas lumalalim ang ating boses. Ang oxytocin naman ay tinatawag na love hormone. Ito yung tumutulong sa pagbuo natin ng koneksyon at bonding, lalo na sa pagitan ng ina at anak or magka-partner. Nakakatulong din ito sa pagpapababa ng stress or ng pagkabalisa. And the last one is yung neurotransmitters. May dalawa tong subsection, ang dopamine and serotonin. So, ang dopamine and serotonin ang tinatawag na happy chemicals ng brain, also influence sexual attraction. Dopamine is linked to reward and pleasure, while serotonin helps regulate mood and emotional stability. When we're attracted to someone, yung dopamine levels natin ay nag increase, making us to feel more excited and happy. Yung high serotonin levels naman can make us feel more positive, which can increase our sexual desire and attraction to others. So, yung dopamine ay parang isa siyang reward system ng katawan natin na kapag nakuha mo na yung isang goal or yung isang bagay is tumataas na yung level ng dopamine natin. Pero ang downside lang nito is kapag mababa yung level ng dopamine mo, ay maaari kang makaramdam ng depression or ng stress. So yung serotonin naman ang nagkokontrol sa mood natin, kaya kilala ito bilang happy hormone. Kung mataas yung serotonin level mo, mas kontento ka na sa isang bagay at mas masaya ka na. At siya din yung tumutulong sa atin para makatulog tayo ng mahimbing sa gabi at mabalanse yung pagkain natin. Kaya pag mababa yung serotonin level mo, pwede kang makaramdam ng lungkot or ng anxiety. Okay, let's have Ritz to discuss the next topic.
Thank you, Charles. Now, the evolutionary psychology of attraction. Understanding how evolutionary pressure have shaped human mating preferences. From older times to now, many factors of pressure have been key for us humans to choose or be attracted to others as mating preferences. I will discuss two factors that are prominent in the time. Before modern times, Darwin's theory of survival of the fittest, also known as natural selection, has connection to attraction where one procreating and reproducing will survive, where one can look or desire some traits or qualities of other gender, making a baby has a better health and a strong body by genetics. Like when you choose your baby to have a clear skin, you would marry someone from South Korea since they have beautiful skin quality. Secondly, The second factor are hierarchy of cues can be used in today's attraction, where many factors are used to determine if the opposite gender is the likely mate. Like male would refer to WHR, waist hip ratio to see if one is to be desired to their body shape, and female most likely use BMI to see if the male's body is fit or muscular that they are looking for. To sum up this question, physical traits are one factor in being attracted in a psychological manner, where picks what is most desired or attracted by our behavior or preferences, like body size, shape, face feature, and other quirks, where other non-physical traits are just chosen later in life, like social status and more. Next slide. The psychology of desire. Delving into the psychological factors that influence sexual desire and arousal. There are five psychological factors, namely mood, value, emotion, attachment style, and personality trait. The first one is mood. One is to be more attracted or developed based on one's mood. For example, if you pass your difficult test, more likely you like the next person you are to meet or greet since you are in a good mood in passing your test. Secondly, values. Values align with our age, so one can be attracted if their values or belief in life are the same as yours today. Third one, emotion. People that have similar emotion states are more likely to be attracted to each other. Fourth, the attachment styles refers how individuals have preferences in attitude, preferences, and responses when sexually attracted. Lastly, the personality traits are non-physical traits like humor or character that can be attractive to other gender. What I mentioned are more in-depth psychological factors on what can be sexually attractive to humans. But there are also other factors that come to play that are stress, ages, and past experiences. Now we have Angela to tackle the next section.
Thank you, Ruth. Next, we have gender roles and sexual attraction. In our society, men and women have a huge difference in terms of their gender roles, which plays a vital role in cultural, biological, and society's dynamics. In this section, we will discuss or examine how traditional gender roles affect sexual attraction and relationships. Next slide, please. Men's gender roles revolve around characteristics such as dominance, assertiveness, and strength. Traditionally, men's gender roles include breadwinner, leader, and protector. Meanwhile, women's gender roles revolve around characteristics such as helpfulness, passivity, and kindness. Traditionally, women are seen as caregivers, nurturers, homemakers, and helpers. Traditional gender roles shape how people see each other and often who they are attracted to in relationships. Men are often portrayed as assertive, dominant, and emotionally restrained, while women possess qualities like warmth, care, empathy, and beauty. This creates a dynamic where traditional masculinity is associated with strength and protection, while femininity is valued for care and emotional support. Adherence to traditional roles can hinder authentic expression, making it difficult for partners to communicate openly and meet needs outside of stereotypes. For example, a man who feels pressure to always appear strong might struggle to express vulnerability, potentially creating emotional distance in the relationship. As society embraces diverse gender expressions, relationships can thrive on mutual respect, attraction, and genuine connection rather than rigid role conformity. Next slide, please. Next, we have sexual orientation and attraction. In this section, we will discuss the diverse ways in which people experience sexual attraction, including same sex, opposite sex, and bisexual attraction. Sexual attraction varies widely with people experiencing connections across a spectrum that includes same, opposite sex, and bisexual attraction. It can be a clear-cut aligning with one gender or complex changing over time. Attraction is often tied to personality, chemistry, or specific moments in life. Recognizing this diversity fosters acceptance and understanding that love and attraction are as individual as the people who feel them. There is no single normal way to experience attraction, reflecting different facets of one's identity. Let's have Jeff to talk about the next section.
Thank you, Miss Angela. Now, let's dumako na tayo sa infatuation versus sexual attraction. Ano nga ba pinagkaiba nila? While both infatuation and sexual attraction involve strong feelings, they are distinct concepts. Infatuation is characterized by intense emotions, idealizations, and short-lived nature, while sexual attraction is primarily driven by physical desire and a focus on physical intimacy. It's important to note that infatuation and sexual attraction can coexist and often do. So these are the factors that go into play in infatuation and sexual attraction. Let's go first with infatuation. Infatuation often involves intense feelings of love, admiration, and obsession. Pero it is not long-term, more on like crush-crush lang siya. Next, we have idealized view. You may see the person in an overly positive light, ignoring the flaws. Short-lived, typically fades over time as reality sets in. And we have the last, focus on self. Can be self-centered as you may be more concerned with how the relationship makes you feel. For sexual attraction, physical, it is primarily based on physical appearance and desire. Desire for intimacy, a longing for physical closeness and sexual activity, can coexist with other feelings, can be experienced alongside with love, friendship, or even dislike. And we have long-term potential, can be a foundation for lasting relationships, but it's not a guarantee. Next, we have overcoming sexual attraction challenges. Managing unwanted sexual attraction can be challenging. Key strategies include self-awareness, healthy distancing, mindfulness, seeking professional help, and building a strong support system. To cultivate healthy relationships, open and honest communication is paramount. Fostering deep emotional connections with others is equally important. Sharing values and goals with your partner can strengthen the bond. Establishing and maintaining clear boundaries is essential for mutual respect. Prioritizing self care allows you to bring your best self to your relationships. It's important to be patient with yourself. Overcoming unwanted sexual attraction takes time and effort. By practicing these strategies and seeking professional help when needed, you can develop healthy relationships and live a fulfilling life. But before we end our presentation about sexual attraction, we have provided a video about subtle signs that someone is sexually attracted to you. Let's have Miss Angela to present the video.
Monte Fiber Enriched Nightly to help cleanse your tummy. It has added fiber that aids in digestion. Get into the Del Monte Fiber habit nightly. Good morning.
There are a lot of common signs that someone is sexually attracted to you, like leaning into you, positioning their body towards you, moving stuff out of the way so they can see you more clearly or be closer to you, and so on. We know what you're thinking. What else you got? Well, we've got your back. Let's check out some not so common signs that someone is sexually attracted to you. Is it hot in here, or is it just you? Have you ever been getting ready for a date and realized you're sweating up a storm? Even though this can be embarrassing, this is absolutely normal. According to a psychologist-reviewed article on Mind Body Green, a well-being blog, when you're attracted to someone, your body temperature goes up. This is similar to how your skin turns red when you blush. When you're around your crush, this releases adrenaline from your brain into your body. The adrenaline rush causes the blood capillaries that rise to your skin surface to expand, causing that rosy glow. This can also cause your body temperature to rise, and you begin to sweat because your heart is beating faster. You don't just sweat when you're working out, stressed, or anxious. Sweating could also mean you're sexually attracted to someone. According to sex and relationship therapist Courtney Getter, an increase in body temperature or sweating means there's some sort of attraction present, but it could solely be physical attraction, not romantic. Before acting on it, be sure to discuss intentions and boundaries to make sure everyone's on the same page. No auto-tune needed. Okay, so good news. You don't need to be like Phoebe Buffay and try to catch a cold for his sexy voice. According to a 2014 study in the Journal of Evolution and Human Behavior, when someone is sexually attracted to you, the tone and pitch of their voice changes when they talk to you. When you talk to someone you're attracted to, it turns out that makes your voice more appealing. Who knew? ABC7 News Media reported on a study about these vocal changes. Dr. Scott B., a psychologist at Cleveland Clinic, said this might be due to biology. Men are going to talk in a lower register to attract females. A study by researchers at the University of Liverpool in England suggests men may change their voice to sound more masculine, after first changing their voice to make the person they're interested in more comfortable. Psychologists in the study also found that women were more likely to change the tone of their voice when there was a rival for their affection. So if you notice a subtle change in someone's voice, it could be a sign they're sexually attracted to you. What big eyes you have. Have you ever seen a cartoon where a character stares wide-eyed at a delicious, fresh-baked pie? That little joke actually comes from science. According to Medical News Today, some research points to pupil dilation being a sign of sexual attraction. One study found men and women's pupils dilated after watching erotic videos. Another study concluded sexual attractions could be determined by pupil size and darkness. This is a super subtle sign, so you'll have to be very observant to notice this. But aren't you supposed to make eye contact with your crush to begin with? If you're staring into their eyes and notice some big anime eyes staring back at you, this could be a sign they're sexually attracted to you. Partner C, partner do. BetterHelp explains that some research, such as from Frontiers of Psychology, says that people show attraction in specific ways. However, many signs of attraction are just universal. One of those signs is mirroring, which is a way of showing availability. If you're sexually attracted to someone, you're more likely to pay attention to what they say and do, and may unconsciously mirror them. We're biologically wired to copy or mirror other people's movements, even talking in a similar way or repeating certain words and phrases. Normally, this happens subconsciously, like when we stand in a similar way as someone else. Mirroring can also indicate how engaged we are in the interaction. Close engagement, the BetterHelp editorial team explains, is a common phenomenon of attraction, as it shows the other person that they have your full attention. So the next time someone steals that catchphrase of yours, make a mental note. They might be sexually attracted to you. So, what do you think? Do you think you'll be able to spot any of these, mainly more subtle signs that someone is sexually attracted to you? Were there any other uncommon signs we missed? Let us know in the comments below. Remember, if you end up moving forward in the relationship after deciphering these signals, consent from both sides is important. Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next one.
So that is all for our topic about sexual attraction. This has been Group 4, and thank you all very much for listening.
Ayan. Hello? Can you guys hear me? Loud and clear? And by any chance ba guys, ready ang ating group 5 for today? Yes, Bunso. Jasper.
Ma'am, napindot lang po.
Ay, okay, Bunso. Ayan. So for our next group, if you guys are ready, you can set up your presentation. Yes, Bunso. Alison.
Hello ma'am, good morning po.
Good
Hindi
morning.
pa po hindi pa po ready ang group 5 since ang alam po namin is 2 groups per week lang po.
Sige, Bunso. By any chance, meron ba sa inyong other groups din na, let's say, sabihin natin na ready na for their presentation? You can raise your hand. Pero okay lang din naman guys if ever na you guys are still preparing for your presentation. Ayan. So siguro for the meantime, um, for a while lang guys ah. Wait lang. Ayan. So, alin, wait lang. Wait lang guys. Ayan. So going back to our meet, ayan. So for our next groups, guys, next meeting, siguro let's try to consume yung ating time, which is 7 to 10 tayo. Since tayo ay once a week lang nagmi-meet. But then again, okay lang naman if nagpe-prepare pang everyone since ayun nga, medyo marami, alam ko marami din kayong ginagawa this past few days, lalo pa at malapit nang matapos yung semester natin dahil nga malapit na mag-finals. Ayan. So, hopefully ay sa mga bagay na kailangan nyo pang gawin at i-submit ay sana ay mapaglabanan ninyo for the next couple of days, the next couple of weeks. Ayan. So, but for today, of course, yung naging discussion natin is a part pa rin ng sexual self natin. Kaya ang focus natin more is about sexual attraction and of course, yung soul natin. So it is important that we get to discuss these topics kasi these are things and these are experiences na maaaring na encounter natin in our everyday life na maaaring in a way there was a point in our lives na hindi natin alam kung how do we interpret itong mga experiences na nangyayari sa atin na do we really find how do we find a person attractive, what makes us what makes that person attractive sa atin, ano ba yung mga bagay na masasabi natin na turn on natin when it comes to physical attraction, as well as kung when we talk about, let's say, what do we find in a partner, when it comes to physical attraction, ano ba yung mga bagay na we think is, we consider as beautiful or handsome, ganyan. So, kasama rin doon, in relation to physical self, is of course yung ating sexual self. For walang guys, ha? Ayan, so in relevance yung sexual self natin dun sa physical self natin. Kasi nga, di ba, when we talk about physical self, more of yung physical aspect ng mga sarili natin. In relevance to sexual self, kung how do we find a person attractive? Or what, ano ba yung mga qualities ng isang tao? Whether it be on a physical aspect that we find attractive sa isang tao. And also, in relevance to that, is of course yung tinatawag natin na discussion for Sogi Bill or Soji Bill. Different pronunciation, different school. Ayan. So when we talk about Soji Bill naman, dito natin naka-classify kung how do we identify ourselves. Di ba kanina, na-discuss kanina yung different members of the LGBTQIA plus community. Now, in that spectrum, maaari ba nating ma-identify as early as now kung nasan tayo dun sa spectrum na yun? So, makikita natin or ma-evaluate natin from ourselves based from our experiences kung tayo ba ay binary, non-binary, tayo ba ay pansexual, asexual. So, maganda na we get to know or that we are informed kung ano ba yung Soji Bill para rin makatulong din sa atin not only for our self-evaluation but also to understand the community better. Kasi syempre yung society naman natin, we have to accept na nagbabago yung society natin. 'Di ba? There are changes and there are policies that needs to be recognized para mas maintindihan natin na yung society natin ay hindi lang para sa atin, kundi there are also other people living in this society that needs to be listened, that needs to be respected. Ano, so maaring ang ibang tao lang ay not informed or not equipped with the right knowledge to understand uh, these changes in our society better. Ayun. And I think from our last poll sa ating GC, you've mentioned there na mas prefer ninyo guys na magkaroon tayo ng different groups for our interview. With that, and since we still have time, siguro later on, I'll be sending our new groupings for our finals as well as yung guidelines natin kung ano yung gagawin nyo for finals. As much as possible, let's make it simpler, as simple as possible, ano, since alam ko naman na hindi lang ito yung subject ninyo, you still have other exams and other subjects na kailangan yung aralin. So, gawin lang natin simple yung buhay natin for UTS as well as yung output natin. But at the same time, let's not compromise the quality that you guys will be producing for understanding the self. Ayan. So, with that, you still have a lot of time for our UTS, and you can use that time if you guys need to catch up on any requirements or even catch up on sleep, no? Kasi baka naman kayo ay sleep deprived na nitong mga nakaraang araw dahil sa dami na kailangan yung aralin. So ngayon, I'll be granting that sleep privilege bago mag-proceed kayo dun sa next class ninyo. And please do know that whatever it is that you guys are going through, there are people that are ready to listen to you if you are willing also to open up to these people. And please do know that our section, this subject, as well as me, if you guys are comfortable or if you want someone to listen to dun sa mga kwento ninyo, wala kayong mapagsabihan, bukas naman yung GC natin, bukas naman yung messenger ko, yung email, or if you want or simple lang na gusto niyo lang na may makausap, so open naman yung mga lines ng mga tao as long as you guys are willing to open up to these people and you're comfortable in sharing whatever it is that you need to share. Kung ano man yung pinagdadaanan ninyo at the moment. Ayan. So, congratulations sa mga kukuha ng kanilang scholarship today. So, madami kayong pera today. Ayan. So, yun lang naman guys for today's meet. Again, we will be resuming our discussion next meeting. Since 3 hours tayo, yung ating groups 5, 6, 7, and 8. Dami naman. 5, 6, 7, and 8. Siguro guys, be ready na lang din. As well as yung last 3 topics natin for 8, 9, and 10. Actually, syempre, ano naman yun eh. Hindi naman natin ipipilit na matapos lahat. Pero just in case lang na short lang yung nagiging discussion, so it's better yet if you guys are prepared for your discussion. Ayun. So, yun lang naman guys. Hindi ko na kayo baka i-hold ng sobrang tagal. But if you guys have any concerns, open yung GC natin. And I think that's it muna for today. Your attendance has been noted. Oo, tayo ay 38 sa ating meet. And yung iba namang classmates niyo ay nagpaalam rin for some personal matters. So, ayun lang naman guys. Maraming salamat for attending this meet. That's it muna for today. And paalam muna everyone. See you na lang sa GC natin. Bye guys!
Bye-bye po. Thank you po.
Ayun.
Thank you po.